It was just 2 weeks until Christmas, and the Smith household was a whirlwind of noise and anticipation. The children, eager for the annual pilgrimage to their ancestral village, bounded around the house, their laughter and chatter filling every corner. They were oblivious to the dark shadow that awaited their journey. This adventure was a tradition, a time when the family would reconnect with their roots, bask in the village's serene environment, play under the shade of massive trees, and bond with cousins they only saw once a year. But this Christmas, an unseen malevolence was poised to alter their lives forever in ways none could foresee. Mr. Smith's wife, Lucy, was meticulous in her preparations. She was in the midst of packing clothes and cooking an assortment of snacks for the long drive, ensuring every detail was accounted for days in advance. Her mind, however, was clouded with one persistent worry: Mr. Smith's refusal to pray. "John, please, can we just pray for 2 minutes before we leave?" she pleaded as she folded clothes into their travel bags. But Mr. Smith dismissed her with a wave of his hand, as if shooing away a persistent fly. "Lucy, don't bother me with that. God knows we're traveling. He doesn't need us to remind him to keep us safe," he chuckled, his laughter echoing through the house. Lucy's heart sank, her prayers whispered in solitude as she knelt alone, hoping her faith would shield her family from harm. Even the children, influenced by their father's skepticism, grumbled during prayer time, finding it tedious. Despite the festive buzz, Lucy's spirit was heavy with foreboding. She watched her family with a quiet intensity, praying silently for their safety, unaware of the sinister plot brewing in their village. One evening, as Mr. Smith drove back from work, his mind on the upcoming trip, he encountered an old woman on the roadside, her wrapper tight around her waist, carrying a small basket. She flagged him down, needing a ride just to the next street. Mr. Smith, always helpful, offered her a seat in his car. The journey was silent at first, only the hum of the engine and the distant chirp of crickets. Then the old woman, with a voice soft yet laden with urgency, advised, "This Christmas, do not travel to the village. If you must, pray and fast, for danger lies ahead." Mr. Smith laughed off her warning, dismissing it as superstition, confident in the safety of his routine journey. 2 days before Christmas, with excitement peaking, the family's plans hit a snag when their car refused to start. Mr. Smith was frustrated, but Lucy saw divine intervention. "Maybe God doesn't want us to go," she suggested softly, but Mr. Smith scoffed at the idea. After a mechanic confirmed the car's engine was beyond repair for the immediate future, they opted for a bus, not ideal but necessary. However, back in the village, Mama Esther, Mr. Smith's stepmother, harbored deep resentment. She watched as each year Mr. Smith and his family arrived like royalty, their joy contrasting with her son's modest means. Fueled by jealousy, she, with her friend Mama Grace, sought out the village witches. In the dark, foreboding forest, they concocted a curse, aiming to end Mr. Smith's Christmas visits once and for all. The family boarded a crowded bus, Lucy insisting on a prayer before departure, which only embarrassed Mr. Smith in front of other passengers. Despite his protests, she prayed aloud, her voice steady against the murmurs of dissent. The journey began uneventfully, the children's laughter filling the air. But soon disaster struck. The bus lost its brakes, careening uncontrollably toward a tanker truck. Lucy's prayers intensified as metal screamed against metal in a catastrophic collision. In the aftermath, it was a miracle that Lucy and her children were unscathed, protected by what seemed like an invisible shield. Mr. Smith, however, was gravely injured, losing his legs in the crush of metal. The news reached the village, stirring different emotions. Mama Esther feigned sorrow but secretly reveled in what she believed was her victory. At the hospital, the old woman from before visited Mr. Smith, revealing the curse and the power of Lucy's faith that had saved them. Her words were a revelation, bringing Mr. Smith to tears of regret and repentance. From that day, Mr. Smith's life changed. He led prayers, his voice now loud in church, his faith renewed. They never again celebrated Christmas in the village until years after Mama Esther's passing, when they returned with humility and gratitude. The story of the Smith family's ordeal and miraculous survival became a legend, a reminder of the strength of prayer against evil and the folly of human jealousy. I hope you found this tale both engaging and enlightening. Please do like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that touch the heart and soul. Thank you.